The media law case I decided to do is the New York Times versus the United States, better known as the Pentagon Paper case. And that was a decision expanding freedom of the press and limits on the government's power um, to interpret that freedom. President Richard Nixon used his executive authority to prevent the New York Times from publishing top secret documents pertaining to U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. In a 6-3 decision, the court ruled that the president's attempt to prevent the publication was a violation of the First Amendment's protection for press freedom. Daniel Ellsberg was part of a top secret study conducted by Department of Defense about the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. Ellsberg leaked the study to the New York Times reporter Neil Sheehan, who published part of the leaked information on the New York Times Sunday edition, June 13, 1971. The headline read, Vietnam Archive, Pentagon Study Traces 3 Decades of Growing U.S. Involvement. Because of the sensitive information contained in the study, the government feared it would compromise relationships with other nations and claimed it posed a threat to national security. The government claimed the publication violated the Espionage Act, and President Nixon ordered further publications halted. In a matter of days, the case had reached the Supreme Court. The court ruled that the intent of the publication was not to put the U.S. in danger, but to educate the American people about the Vietnam War. By preventing the New York Times from publishing the material, the reporter's First Amendment rights were being violated. Many historians now credit the publishing of the Pentagon Paper with helping to end the Vietnam War. I feel like this is like a really good media law case to choose because we've been talking about the First Amendment a lot, and I agree with the article where it says it does take the rights away for the First Amendment because it wasn't bashing, it wasn't lying, they weren't using any libels. It was all true, and it was just for facts. It wasn't for harm. So that's why I feel like it really wraps in and really goes with what we are talking about today. So that's why I chose this article, the New York Times versus the United States, because I felt like it had very good information, it connected very well to what we were learning today, and I thought it would be very relevant to us. So, yes, that's why I chose this media law case. Thank you.